WFTX-TV.com.
Super Tuesday is the biggest contest so far in the presidential race. 12 states up for grabs. We're breaking down the top winners on both sides, and we'll let you know why candidates who didn't fare so well may not want to throw in the towel just yet.
Also, astronaut Scott Kelly is back on Earth after being in space for 340 days. We'll show you the moment he got out of the Soyuz capsule. These stories and much more now on Rising.
Seth Misfada's morning news source. You're watching Fox 4 Rising.
If I'm going to win all of these states with tremendous numbers, I think it's awfully hard to say that's not the person we want to lead the party.
We know we've got work to do, but that work is not to make America great again. America never stopped being great.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton waking up winners on Wednesday after a Super Tuesday with more momentum in the race to the White House. We've got to look at the totals.
Trump winning 7 states, Clinton also winning 7 states, but also taking the U.S. territory of American Samoa. The final numbers just coming into our newsroom about an hour ago. Here's how the Republican matchup turned out. Again, Trump walks away with 7. Ted Cruz claimed 3, including a late win in Alaska, and Marco Rubio got his first win in Minnesota. On the Democratic side, Clinton nagged 7, while Sanders picked up 4 states.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Kelly Dame.
And I'm Warren Wright. Even though Trump and Clinton walked away with the majority of the wins, their closest competition walk away with some reasons to stick to the race. Karen Siafa reports from Washington with a look at the scoreboard and where the race heads next.
Frontrunners Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump won early and often on Super Tuesday, showing strength, especially among voters in southern contests on the biggest day on the primary calendar so far. Bernie Sanders pulled off wins in Vermont and in Oklahoma, but Hillary Clinton will exit Super Tuesday with far more delegates. Off of that big victory in South Carolina Saturday, Clinton scored wins in states like Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, and Texas. Speaking in Florida, she looked ahead to a potential November matchup against Donald Trump, and Trump returned the fire.
Instead of building walls, we're going to break down barriers and build ladders of opportunity and empowerment so every American can live up to his or her potential.
Once we get all of this finished, I'm going to go after one person. That's Hillary Clinton, on the assumption she's allowed to run, which is a big assumption.
Trump referring to the Clinton email server controversy there. He won states in the South, including Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, and up in Massachusetts. But Ted Cruz showed he can beat Trump. He did it in Iowa in February and added Super Tuesday wins in his home state of Texas and in Oklahoma. The 2 wins, plus the earlier Iowa victory, now helping him make the case that the Republican race is a 2-man contest. And Cruz Tuesday night asked that other candidates shelve their bids and help him beat Trump. So now we look to the next events on the political calendar. The Republican candidates will debate in Detroit on Thursday, the Democrats in Flint, Michigan on Sunday. Michigan among states holding contests next Tuesday, March 8th. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And in our next half hour, we are going to be checking in with our very own Patrick Nolan in West Palm Beach for Donald Trump's Super Tuesday rally there.
All right, Ben Carson is calling on his fellow Republican presidential candidates to all bury their hatchets before tomorrow night's big debate in Detroit. In a statement, Carson said he is reaching out to each candidate by phone to set up a meeting in the hours before the Fox News debate. The retired neurosurgeon says the race has taken a turn for the worse, to the point of embarrassment on the world stage. He blamed the race's negativity on the media. The statement said, to defeat the Democratic opponent in the general election, Republicans must all agree not to give in to the media's desire for a fight on the stage in Detroit.
And we are following breaking news as you wake up with us. Astronaut Scott Kelly is back on Earth following a year-long mission in space for NASA. This is video of Kelly actually being removed from the craft today. Kelly and his Russian roommate for the past year landed in barren, frozen Kazakhstan today. The two spent 340 days in space and circled the world more than 5,000 times on a mission that began last March. Kelly will return to his hometown of Houston tomorrow.
Wow, you can see he was having a hard time getting out of that capsule. I mean, he's struggling, right?
You can imagine coming back to Earth could be quite the mission for him as well. Jamie, and of course, we're taking a look at the weather this morning. It's not the barren, frozen Kazakhstan here.
No, nothing like that. Yes, I'm sure gravity is a new sensation for Kelly. Wow. Here we are, folks, taking a look at that day part planner. Some low 60s right now. We'll be closer to that mid 60, 8 o'clock. I'm expecting to see partly to mostly cloudy skies through the morning hours, probably maybe up to as late as 1 or 2 o'clock. And then we should find the cloud cover thinning just a little bit. The wind's rather light today, but the wind's westerly. We don't see a lot of westerly wind around here. And right now the numbers, upper 50s all the way to about a low 60. A 63 in Naples, a 63 in Cape Coral, 62 Fort Myers, but 59 on both sides of the Peace River. And for the temperature forecast, we'll be in those low 60s, 8 o'clock, and then we just race for that 80-degree mark. We could find a low 80 inland today. I think most of us top out at about 80, maybe an 81 in the coastal corridor. So it is going to be maybe a few degrees above average. That'll be about it. But low 60s on our way to upper 60s for the bus stop forecast. And as I mentioned, a fair amount of cloud cover overhead. You can see here it is. It's just moving right across the peninsula. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Cold front to the north of us will stall out somewhere between Tampa and Fort Myers, it looks like. But it is weakening as it does. And in fact, the showers associated with it will dry up before it even gets out of the panhandle, it looks like. But look for those upper 70s and low 80s today, down towards 60 overnight. That's your Storm Patrol 4 weather forecast.
Now, on-time traffic brought to you by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured.
Good morning, everyone. Here's a look at your traffic. What we're looking at right now is I-75 North. This is near Daniels Parkway. Pretty quiet out there this morning. Things are looking good for your drive time at this hour. Clear commute, and then as you're headed here in Cape Coral and Fort Myers, maybe down 41 or 75 this morning. Things are looking pretty good as well back home here. Going down Pine Island, I know a lot of you are taking that this morning. Pine Island clear, no accidents to report down Pine Island at this time. Looking at Lehigh, heading down 82, maybe Daniels Parkway, everything clear there. And then overall looking at 41 and 75 in Naples. Colonial to Davis, 32 minutes. Highway 41, Colonial to Davis, 44 minutes. That's a look at your traffic. We'll send it to the desk.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Brand new as you wake up, there are 2 shooting investigations underway right now in Northport. Overnight, Northport officials tell us they're investigating a shooting in the 4300 block of Wesley Lane. One person is recovering in the hospital this morning with non-life-threatening injuries. One person is in custody, and there is no longer a threat to the community. We're told this shooting is not related to an early shooting yesterday that happened on Ridgewood Drive. 2 people are fighting for their lives in critical condition after being airlifted to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Police say the shooting was not random and there is no threat to the neighborhood. One man is in custody.
Family and friends gathering to remember a Cape Coral realtor as police search for his killer. James Marshall, who friends tell us goes by Rick, was found dead February 23rd after a business associate reported him missing when he didn't show up to a conference in California. Sources tell us Marshall was found dismembered. Now, those closest to him wonder if this could be a hate crime.
Could this have been a hate crime, I have to ask?
Of course. You don't just dismember somebody for a reason that it isn't.
Joe Latini, who you just heard from, and many others in the gay community knew Marshall for several years and can't imagine why anyone would want to harm him. Dozens of his friends gathered last night at one of Marshall's favorite hangouts, Tubby's Bar in Cape Coral, to remember him.
Well, the father of Chance Walsh, the Northport baby who was beaten to death last year, is now facing a harsher charge. The state attorney's office has now indicted Joseph Walsh on first-degree murder charges in his son's death. He was initially charged with second-degree murder, along with his wife, Kristen Berry. Earlier this year, she struck a deal to serve 25 years in prison in exchange for testimony against Walsh. Prosecutors say the couple buried baby Chance in a wooded area in Northport last September after Joseph Walsh allegedly choked and beat him to death.
And turning to other news this morning, grab your peanuts and Cracker Jack. Spring training is officially getting underway in Southwest Florida.
It's not only good for baseball fans, but a boost for the economy as well. Fox 4 Rising's Mark Jackman is at JetBlue Park in Fort Myers, where the season's first game will take place. Mark.
Good morning, Kelly, Warren. We're here at JetBlue Park at Fenway South, where the Red Sox come to escape the cold and start their spring training. And today they will be playing against the Minnesota Twins here for the first game of the spring season. As hundreds of thousands of baseball fans travel through Southwest Florida and the rest of the state for spring training, the Red Sox will kick off their first game against the Minnesota Twins at 1:05 this afternoon. Since the Red Sox and the Twins train in Fort Myers, both teams bring big boosts to Lee County's economy. A spokesperson for the Red Sox says all these out-of-state fans help our local economy and that Sox spring training alone brings in about $25 million. It looks like tonight is going to be a pretty packed game. I was just on the Red Sox website and they only have standing room tickets left between $5 and $15. And if you missed the game today, the Twins and the Red Sox will be playing again tomorrow at the Twins Century Links Sports Complex. That game starting at 7:05. And so if you're going to either of these games, make sure that you keep in mind the traffic, because these games are known to cause quite a bit of traffic. We're live here in Fort Myers. Mark Jackman, Fox 4 Rising.
All right, Mark, thank you. Many of us know that traffic well. And spring training is also underway for the Tampa Bay Rays. This afternoon, they take on the Washington Nationals in Port Charlotte. In a couple of weeks, the Rays will actually travel to Cuba to play an exhibition game. Now, that's going to be the MLB's first trip to the communist island nation since the Baltimore Orioles played there in 1999. President Obama plans to attend and cheer on the Rays as they take on the Cuban national team in Havana on March 22nd. The game will be televised by ESPN.
Can't wait. Well, it was a very close call after a young boy is woken up when a car crashes through his bedroom. The boy did something hours before the crash that may have saved his life.
Plus, new information into our newsroom from overnight. 2 people are dead after a car crashes through the front window of a busy restaurant. We'll let you know where the deadly dinner scene took place next. You're watching Fox 4 Rising.